Steven, do you happen to know what today is?
It's the first Sunday of the NFL season
How'd you know?
because football's on today. What the hell was that though? What's the Batman?
That wasn't Batman, Steven. Good Lord.
What was that?
That intro music is NFL Films' fantastic long arm shiver, orchestrated by Sam Spence.
Oh.
And you may know it from SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
Mermaid Man
All
and
right.
Barnacle Boy.
Jesus. Okay. Sorry, I knew it was a superhero. Went with Batman. Didn't think about Mermaid Man and
No,
Barnacle. I
it's the
apologize.
greater Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
I apologize.
Barnacle Man. What's going on, everybody? If you didn't hear or you don't look at Twitter, it's here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. The first day of football. I've been waiting for this day for months. Welcome to Just Your Pregame Show, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. Stephen was supposed to join me here in my lovely apartment, and as fate would have it, I tested positive for COVID yesterday. Been waiting for this day for months, and of course, I get sick. But you know what? That's the way the world is now. We roll with the punches. I'm not going to let it bum me out today.
If we had someone who was playing drops, I would instantly play that drop from Billy Madison. You blew it.
Yeah, I know. I blew it. We were going to have a big thing at the Oakland Athletic Club, but we'll have to wait for another week.
Yep.
Damn it. Now I know what Tim Roy feels like, but we'll be okay. We'll move on.
Jeez.
What? It's like you wait all season for this and then you don't get to do it. I feel your pain, Tim.
Yeah, I guess.
By the way, Tim Roy, new voice of the Stanford Cardinal, doing a great job.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Steven, here we are, my friend. And thank you, Ernie. Thank you very much. But you know what? I'm feeling fine. Got a little nasal congestion, and my voice sounds a little sexier today, so I think we'll be okay.
Oh, good. Yep, that's what we needed. Your voice to sound more sexy.
Damn right. Just drinking hot water. All
Very
right.
good.
So let's begin, my man. We got an hour, and we are going to go through every game as far as picks, betting lines, over and unders. But let's start with what happened on Thursday. So the defending Super Bowl champion, LA Rams, they stay home where they won the Super Bowl. Andrew Whitworth brings them out on the field. Odell Beckham Jr., who's not a Ram, but he's there to support them. At this point,
Yeah, that was weird.
He might as well be a Ram, even though during the game he tweets out, hey, Bills Mafia. But at this point, I think we all are guessing that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to join the Rams at some point this season.
Yep.
Then the game started, and it was a little sloppy at first, but Bills look as advertised. Bills look like the best team in football. We'll see how everybody else plays today. But Josh Allen looking like the MVP. He throws for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown, had an amazing play where he ran to his right and just flung one up in the air right over Jalen Ramsey, who called Josh Allen trash.
Yep.
And Stephon Diggs comes down with a touchdown. Amazing throw. Great performance by the Bills all around. Stephon Diggs had a great game. Defense was on point. Von Miller returns against his former team. It gets 2 sacks. And then on the flip side, the defending champions looked not ready to play at all. Their offensive line couldn't hold up whatsoever. They allow 7 sacks. I see our guy Benjamin Shaw's in the chat here. What's up, Ben?
Yeah, man.
He's dropping an old line from he likes our mics, and then he stopped dropping his name is Derby. That's an old inside joke from the Townie Chicken Pot Pie shop back in the days, the pregame shows. But regardless, what's up,
I love
Ben?
inside jokes. I'd hope to be a part of one someday.
And the audience loves inside jokes as well. But yeah, dude. So Stafford throws 3 interceptions. Couldn't find Allen Robinson all night, or didn't try to. 2 targets.
Yeah.
One in the back of the end zone at the end of the game. I saw something on Twitter where it looked like he was open for the majority of the game, and Stafford and McVay just didn't dial up to him. Cooper Kupp does what he does, but it can't just be Cooper Kupp. And
Did you see the video that was posted afterwards though?
Of Allen Robinson?
No, it was it was like a highlight tape of Allen Robinson's first game with the Rams, And then so it shows like the intro with the caption, Allen Robinson, week 1 highlights. And then and then as soon as they show the caption, right after, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
No highlight at all. That's
It's
it.
kind of like someone posted a couple weeks ago, Trey Sermon's touchdowns with the Niners, and it's just one.
Yeah. Yep. No, look, man, that game, the Rams did not play a good one, obviously. They did not look ready, as you just said. But I do believe that the Bills are just going to be that damn good this season. Normally, we can't tell what a team's going to look like till, week 4. They don't truly play up to their potential until then. I personally believe that. I don't know what you think. But man, the Bills just look ready. Like they look like they're on a mission to try and get to the Super Bowl here. And the Rams, that offensive line was not very good, but man, that defense for the Bills just looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Ed Oliver up the middle, it looks like he's finally coming into his own. I know I wanted the Raiders to draft him when he was available from Houston. They got those 2 safeties, Jordan Poyer obviously making plays. Man, just what a game, what an intro. But you know what? I'm going to say this about it. I am so tired of the LA thing. I do not want another big game in LA. We've had back-to-back Super Bowls and then the opening kickoff from LA. I do not need any pomp and circumstance around LA. I just don't.
Yeah, because the LA fans, despite winning a Super Bowl, it was dominated by Bills fans.
Yeah.
You could hear the cheers. Bills Mafia took over SoFi Stadium. One thing I wanted to bring up, Steven, was either it being a lack of reps or the elbow situation with Matthew Stafford. He did not put a lot of zip on the ball. I'm not ready to say that the elbow thing is a problem, even though the day before the game or the day of the game, it came out with reports that Matthew Stafford had some kind of procedure done along with his best buddy, Clayton Kershaw. I don't know if you were aware they're best friends.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, so is everybody. But he did not look good. And it may just be that he was held out of the majority of training camp practices. But Matthew Stafford, first game, he does throw a lot of interceptions, but he did not look good as in the first opener of the season.
It could have looked a lot worse too. I mean, the Bills had a bunch of those unforced, just the first interception. I think was it Isaiah McKenzie who was trying to catch that ball, and then the Rams cornerback just took it right away.
Yep.
You had that. I believe it was Zach Moss who fumbled basically as soon as the Rams turned the ball over. There were just some I've been watching tennis a lot lately, so it's just like the unforced errors is a thing. But unforced errors, a lot of them for the Bills. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, what kind of a score is that? 31-10, and they had 4 turnovers, the winning team. Like, what kind of a score is that? That doesn't make any sense. And if my memory serves, I think, speaking to your Matthew Stafford point, I'm pretty sure that he was pressured on like 29 of 41 dropbacks or something like that, which is just insane. Or actually, that's also his completion percentage. So no way, that can't be right. Never mind. My memory does not serve me correctly. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. It just looked like they were not ready to play the LA Rams. Offensive line could not hold up against that Bills pass rush. Andrew Whitworth was there and looked like they needed him. Joe Noteboom had problems all night. There's that clip of there's that clip of Von Miller just going right past him, like a tight end, just like chip blocking him a little bit, and then boom, right around the other end. So, yeah, dude, we'll see about the Rams. I think they'll get right. They have a mini bye week this upcoming week, and they play the Atlanta Falcons. So hopefully, for my sake in fantasy, Allen Robinson goes off in that game, and they can figure some things out. But not so good for the defending champs in week 1. But
no,
the Bills look fantastic.
I respect this guy's game. I totally understand why he's as cocky as he is. But I don't think there's a player out there who I like watching get beat more than Jalen Ramsey. He does so much talking.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice this, but on that deep ball, like you mentioned, that play action rollout with Josh Allen throwing it to Stephon Diggs, who was wide open. The drive before, I guess, like Ramsey locked Diggs up, and then he started talking trash and kind of gave him the finger wag.
Yep.
And then the following drive, he just gets blown right by, and Ramsey doesn't even pay attention to him.
Well, Jalen Ramsey, he's one of the best corners of football, but recently he's been getting beat a lot. We
Feels
saw in
like
the
it
Super
happens a
Bowl.
lot.
Yeah, we saw in the Super Bowl, T. Higgins went right by him. He freaked out because he grabbed his face mask, but he burned him. And the couple weeks prior to that, he got beat by Mike Evans in that playoff game for a touchdown that got it closer in that game. And then, yeah, I don't know what the stat line was, but Stephon Diggs was pretty much doing what he does against Jalen Ramsey for the majority of that game. So Jalen Ramsey talks a lot of shit. He could back it up too, but he did not look good week one. The whole team did not look good. Cam Akers, 2 carries, 0 yards. Don't know what's going up with him. There's that video going around online where he did nothing in pass protection. And then Sean McVay called him out and said he needs to be aggressive and ready to play. So
Yeah.
and then I guess there were reports that Sean McVay just laid into his team after the game. So I'm not going to say that this is going to be what a sign of things to come for the Rams the entire season, but bad showing. And I think that it's back to the middle of last year where they lost 3 in a row and the Niners just took it to them in that game on Monday night. And they weren't a physical team. They got their ass kicked by a more physical team of the Buffalo Bills.
Yep, no doubt. And the way that they were able to spread the ball around to every receiver too, other than Diggs, like Gabriel Davis has had some insane numbers. Like this dude just
On my fantasy team.
he does nothing but score touchdowns. Like that's all he does is score touchdowns. You mentioned Jamison Crowder too. I think you talked about that. How that was
Did
gonna
not
be a
mention
nice-
Jamison Crowder, but I love the drink.
Well, you didn't mention him today, but you messaged him in a previous podcast or mentioned him in a previous podcast.
I did.
Like he was, he looked speedy out there. Maybe he's gonna have a pretty solid season with them. The only one I was disappointed was Dawson Knox because I had him on my fantasy team. Didn't work.
Yeah. By the way, did I mention that I have 3 fantasy teams this year?
No.
Is that excessive in your book? Because I know you tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that 6
Six
a
is too
lot.
much. 6
I
is
agree.
disgusting. I got 3.
Okay, I got 3. So I'm now that I'm not working at NFL Network, and I'm so happy about that today because this would have just been anxiety inducing if I was still there. But I'm here. I'm home, and I get to watch my fantasy. I get to watch my football with my screens. If you came over today, Steven, you would have seen my treadmill in the corner.
Oh God.
But I got my 3 fantasy leagues. I got my 3 pick'em leagues. I'm going all out this year, and I got 2 survivor pools.
So are you picking against the spread in the pick'em leagues, or is it just
No,
straight up
just pick up straight up winners.
Oh, okay.
You and I
Okay.
will pick the spreads today, though.
Will we?
We will, and unfortunately, so both of us picked the Bills. We laid the points, and we took the over, but the under hit.
Yeah.
And we were going to do the bet where if we lost, whoever lost was going to have to do the glizzy thing with
the glizzy straw.
the glizzy straw. But the way I feel today, let's pass on that.
Yeah, we can hold off on the glizzy straw for now, and it's a little too early in the morning for a little glizzy beer. It's
Oh,
like
dude,
that would-
if I was 100% today, I would have had those glizzy beers ready to go.
But you know what, man? Wasn't surprised that the Bills blew them out. I'm just not. I'm not gonna put too much stock into this performance by the Rams. I'd say like if I'm looking at this game and looking toward the season, I'd say like the way that the Bills played, I'd say that's more like the standard that they'll play at as opposed to the Rams.
Yeah. By the way, Benjamin Shaw is just killing me here on the
I
on
can
the
tell.
chat.
Ben, stop distracting him. Damn it.
He's just dropping some great inside jokes here. Yes, my
I
favorite
send the
candy
guy-
bar is Snickers.
I send the guy the link, and this guy just is just
No, I'm fucking
destroying
loving
the
it.
chat,
I'm fucking loving it.
infiltrating.
All right, but by the way, about the Rams, do you see the report today? So Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be your backup quarterback
Mhm.
for the San Francisco 49ers. But the reports have it that if the Niners were going to release Jimmy Garoppolo, we all thought that another NFC West team was going to pounce on him in the Seahawks. Instead, it sounds like the LA Rams were going to sign Jimmy Garoppolo if he was made available. Now, I guess there were also maybe trade discussions between the two teams, which begs the question. If you are the LA Rams and you sign Jimmy Garoppolo, what does that tell you to your division opponent about your starting quarterback?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me believe that they have serious issues with Matthew Stafford on their hands, if that's what they're thinking about. They like Bryce Perkins, they like John Walford. Maybe they just wanted to upgrade a backup, but damn, if they're looking for Jimmy Garoppolo as their backup quarterback, then they must have serious doubts about Matthew Stafford and that elbow.
Yeah, Adam Schefter must have had this one in the holster for quite a while now. He must have just been waiting
That's
for
another
it.
thing too, is these guys conveniently, and it's not that they just do this when they want to. It's because the agents tell them at the appropriate times.
Right. Right. Yep. So this was probably all put on by Don Yee. But I also didn't understand like how the Rams could have signed him in the first place. Like looking at the Rams contracts and everything, it seems like they had 7 million in cap space or something like that. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have really been possible. But I do think it's glaring though. I think it's like an admission right now, or not an admission so much, but it's a revelation that look, maybe we didn't trust Stafford as much as we've let on the fans with, his elbow. Oh, everything's
Yeah.
fine. You know what he's feeling about as great as he's ever felt. Well, he didn't look it on Thursday. So I would not be shocked if they did that just because they don't trust their starting quarterback going forward.
God,
I am stumbling all over my words this morning. I gotta wake up.
It's early. It's early. You're never up this early, Steven. It's all good. By the way, what's on your mug? Everybody keeps talking about the mug that you're trying to hide.
Yeah, it says hello, beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Jesse's.
All
It was
right.
the only mug available.
Yesterday, we got another report that Darren Waller has signed his contract extension. So he's locked up with the Raiders for another 3 years and $51 million. I haven't seen where that puts him at the other tight ends in the league. Do you happen to know, Steven?
No, not off the top of my head. I
Let me
haven't
take a
even
look,
to be
actually.
honest with you, dude, this was the same situation as when the Raiders signed Devontae or traded for Devontae Adams. Like, I didn't even bother to look at the contract. I didn't even look at the money. I'm just happy that they actually did it. Like this new regime, I mean, getting rid of these first round picks that might not have value, really testing them, but also actually re-signing the guys who are important to the team. Like, they're moving in the right direction. They're trending in the right direction. I like Ziegler and McDaniels just for this so far. Like, it's a no-brainer. You should have signed Darren Waller to a long-term extension. Now, what does this mean for the futures of those guys whose fifth year's options they declined? Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, Cleveland Ferrell. My guess is if they had to, they'd only sign one of the three. And to be honest with you, I think this is I think this is a huge season now that I think about it for Jonathan Abram. Like, this is a dude who you can possibly get for a cheaper amount of money just because he's playing safety. He's not going to demand top safety money. So I'm very interested to see what happens with him this season. But that's beside the point. Darren Waller, I love it. I love the fact that even though he switched agents, there was a little skepticism there after he did that, switched over to Drew Rosenhaus. But turns out they got the deal done, and it's all good.
So he is making an annual salary of $17 million, so that puts him ahead of George Kittle and Travis Kelce. So annually, he is the highest paid tight end now. Good for Darren Waller.
Yeah, man. He absolutely deserves it. Coming back from his drug addiction and being such an inspirational dude. I really like him. He's one of the fan favorites. And I mean, this is the type of thing where number 83 jerseys now are just going to be flying off the shelves because any real Raider fan, they're very hesitant to buy an actual jersey. Like, the reason that I got a John Kondo jersey is because I knew that was the only player that would be on the team in the next 4 years because he signed a big deal. Other than that, I didn't know.
And he's a great guy to buy us shots at the old Gridiron Galas.
Exactly. And it wasn't even me who bought it. It was my brother who bought it for me as a gift. But Darren Waller.
How much did that cost, by the way, that Kondo jersey?
I don't know. It was custom made. Yeah.
We don't have this available, sir. You have to make your own.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my brother had a Leckler jersey, so I guess he got me the Kondo jersey. So we had the long snapper and the punter. Those were the only two good players on the team.
You walk in the jersey store. Do you have any long snapper jerseys available?
But what's interesting though is I don't have the number here. Do you know how much guaranteed he has? Darren Waller, that is. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Or trying to look it up, but
I don't. The guaranteed money stuff is always weird.
I think that matters though. I think that matters with the amount
Fine,
of
if you think it
guaranteed.
matters, then
I do,
it
because
does
like,
matter. I just don't have it in front of me. That's why I'm trying to move on.
oh, okay. Well, continue to move on.
No. No. If I can find it, I'll get it for you. Let me see here. Darren Waller.
19.25 fully guaranteed
Well, there you go.
is what I'm seeing. So compared to other active players,
Let me
ooh, wow.
let me just say this, Steven. I think this is good that the Raiders locked up all of the guys they needed. They locked up Derek. They locked up, obviously, they traded for Devontae Adams, but they gave him a big contract. Max Crosby, Hunter Renfro, and Darren Waller, pretty much their mainstays going forward. As far, I mean, like, remember during the draft, there were reports that they couldn't hang on to Darren Waller, so they were going to trade him to the Green Bay Packers. Now you don't have to worry about that. Now you got the core guys on this team to make this offense explosive for years to come. And we'll see today against the Los Angeles Chargers. Else, J.C. Jackson is not going to play today, it sounds like. So we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
this offense, we'll see how it goes with the offensive line. But everybody that you need, without the exception of Josh Jacobs, and we'll even see if they do need him, everyone that you need is going to be there for years to come.
Yes, and if Derek Carr performs well this year, like this gives you a solid 3-year window here where you got to be thinking like within these 3 years you got to get to the Super Bowl. It might not be this year, but maybe next or maybe the year after that, because you just signed your players. You got these guys.
Ooh.
These guys are stars. They're proven. Your Super Bowl window is now, and you got to
Damn.
build that defense and that offensive line still in the next couple of years.
You want Super Bowl on me now, Steven?
Well, I mean, what else is there? What else should be the expectation?
Oh, no, don't you put that on Derek.
What?
Don't you put that on that Ricky Bobby.
Why not? It's been since 2014. If you can't make a Super Bowl now, are you ever going to?
I hear you. Win a playoff game first. Baby steps.
Yeah, I know, but like you got
No,
talent.
they have a Super Bowl caliber offense. We'll see about, with the exception of the offensive line, maybe. We'll see. We will see. There are expectations, obviously, but they're in a fucking monster of a division.
No doubt.
Even though I picked them to win it.
Yeah. I don't buy your playoff predictor thing at all. I chose those games too, and it's like, of course you're going to choose. Oh yeah, that team's going to win here because they clearly have an obvious advantage. I think I had like the Bills going 15-2 because I could not find a loss in the in their schedule, even though they have the hardest schedule within the NFL. But 15-2 probably not going to happen. And what'd you say the Raiders were going to go 13-4?
Yes.
Yeah, I had the same thing, and I don't buy that at all. I don't think 13-4 is going to happen.
Okay, how could you dispute it and then have the same thing as me?
Because I looked at that and I'm like, you know what? They're probably not going to beat the Chargers when they're at home. The Chargers are going to have a revamp. Like, I just do not believe in any of my predictions.
Okay, when we were sitting at Old Ship for your going away thing, and I went through the whole Niners schedule and said 8 and 9, how many people were like, when you go through it, that actually kind of makes sense?
Quite a few.
All right, then.
Yeah.
So don't you dare question me in the playoff predictor.
I had them going 12-5.
Don't see it. A guy that got paid in Darren Waller to a guy that didn't want to get paid, rejected a contract, Lamar Jackson. Reports came out today that he rejected a 6-year, $133 million contract that was going to be fully guaranteed. So the deadline to get this deal done was Friday. It now has passed, and they're going to put the negotiations to rest during the season and come back in the offseason, which is really risky, but you can always franchise tag Lamar Jackson. So he declined a fully guaranteed contract that was going to be less than what Deshaun Watson makes. Now, I understand Lamar Jackson's arguments. I've been playing the last few years. Deshaun Watson hasn't been around. Do you think Lamar Jackson should be paid as the highest quarterback in all of football?
Personally, I don't.
Yes.
And this is the issue with, not having your own agent. Like when you're your own agent, you kind of feel like your value, especially Lamar Jackson with that type of dude, like he thinks his skills are some of the best in the NFL, which I can agree with. His athletic ability is, you're not going to find anyone with athletic ability like Lamar Jackson, but it's also a question of, do you think he's really worth that? And do you think that he can really play this style of football for the next 4 years and play it at a high level? I mean, last year, I know he has the rushing touchdowns, but just looking strictly from a passing standpoint, 16 touchdowns and 10 interceptions is not exactly best in the league. I should get paid like that material. 16 TDs and 10 interceptions. That number should be a little better. So I don't believe that. I do not.
Ernie saying it wasn't fully guaranteed, but it is fully guaranteed. That's the interesting point is that it would be a lot of money right up front
I
upon
apologize.
signing.
16 and 13, not even 16 and 10, 16 and 13.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see what else has been offered. That seems like a good deal to me as far as some of the highest paid quarterbacks in football. I'm not a huge Lamar Jackson guy. I think that he's highly inaccurate, but he is effective. He is a great runner, and he, MVP in this league and has had a lot of success. I wouldn't make him the highest paid quarterback in football. That's just me. I don't know if he's gunning for that. But I think the Ravens made him a solid offer, and I don't think that he should have rejected that. But
it's not like it's a disrespectful offer either. It's like, dude, why'd you have to reject that? I don't know. The Ravens were put in a situation where they kind of feel like they have to pay him, and they did.
Yeah.
And the fact that he rejected it, I mean, I don't see him being with the Ravens after this season.
Ooh, why, really?
I mean, what are they going to do? Offer him more money?
Well, what if he goes out and has a fantastic season?
Or what if he doesn't?
Then
I mean, Rashad Bateman's his number one receiver. Like, what are they like? What, you know what I mean?
But how often do they throw?
Not too often. Not too often, but it's still a quarterback.
No, believe me, I get it. I mean, I don't understand why you trade away Marquise Brown and don't bring in anybody else, but yeah, that's just me. I think that's a solid offer from the Ravens. I would have taken that, but
yeah. Well,
he's his own agent. So I would take anything. I would take anything at this point. As by Ben Shaw. As Ben Shaw said, the 16 million guaranteed for Darren Waller is pretty much what us three make total. I wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Later, Ben. Love you too, man. So lastly, before we get to actually picking some games here, Tom Brady. A lot has been made about him ditching training camp before the season and what's going on with his marriage and everything. Turns out that Adam Schefter reports today that, or I guess Ian Rappaport, whoever got to it first, that things change, but as of now, the indication is that this will be Tom Brady's last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he will retire, and he will start that gig with Fox next season. So not surprised. I guess the whole leaving training camp thing was a promise he made to Gisele that they need to spend some time together. So it'll be interesting to see how Tom Brady does this season. I think he'll be fine, but I think his family and his wife was the initial reason why he retired. Can't say why he wanted to come back. Maybe he just thought it was unfinished business, but it's just, I don't think this will be like Derek Jeter's last year where it's everyone knows it. He's not going to say this is my last year after the first game tonight against the Cowboys. But it's be interesting to see like how this plays out. We already know what he's going to do after he retires. He was that close to retirement, so and we all think the Buccaneers are not going to be as good with the offensive line troubles. But yeah, just interesting. Interesting that things, life has come full circle for Tom Brady now, and that he's been that close to the other side, and we're that close. And I'm just rambling here, but yeah. Well, I would guess that this will be his last season.
Yeah, I would too. But my question is it going to be like a John Elway situation where, if he wins a Super Bowl, then all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm good. I'm going out on top. Or if maybe they don't make the Super Bowl, if they don't go as far as they want, like, can he come back another year? And does he have that hunger to go again? Like, which one is it? Is it just, well, you know what? If last year doesn't work, if it works out like last year, you know what? I'm going to give it another year. I think we could do this. Or is it going to be Super Bowl or just retirement?
But I think Gisele's going to guilt trip and be like, dude, you got 7 fucking championships. What else do you need to prove?
It's true.
That was said a bunch during the Man in the Arena thing. So,
yeah.
We'll see today, man. We'll see where it starts. All right,
I won't buy it. I won't buy it until I see it. Like, I'm done thinking Tom Brady's even going to be retired at all. Like, this happens early in the season. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I didn't buy it when he retired the first time, the day before the NFC Championship game. I was like, this seems weird to me, but we will see. All right, let's start to do this, my friend. Let's start picking some games here.
All right.
You
Hang
ready?
on. Let me
You
pull it
got some
up. Hang on.
music?
Hang on.
Well, hold
No.
on. Before you do, let's do this classically. And by the way, Steven, happy anniversary, my friend. Today marks a full year that we've been doing this podcast.
Happy anniversary, man.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
1 year. How about that?
How about that? Who'd have thunk it, huh? Who'd have thought?
Who'd have
Us.
thought?
Not me. All right. Let's do it, man. We've been doing this segment for a year now, and we'll see what the punishment is, but it's time now. Hold the music real quick.
Oh.
Sorry. Just so we get a clean edit for the podcast. It's time for wins or wangs. Oh, yes. Put it up, Steven. All right, here we go,
That
my
was a
friend.
weird way to word that.
Put it up.
It's like, put it up, Steven. What?
Here we go, my friend. Let's do this. We're going to pick the actual winners, the point spreads, and the over-unders. And we're going to do it by a number system. So whoever gets all three right, that will mark as like your total for the week. All right,
Okay,
man. You ready?
gotcha. Yep.
So you and I are 2 for 2 from week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the Bills pick right. We laid the points right, but we didn't get the over-under right. So here
Right.
we go.
Okay.
All right, week 1. Here we go. New Orleans Saints head to the Atlanta Falcons. And what's interesting about this game that I didn't even think about is you have the two quarterbacks drafted in 2015, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. So a lot of changes with the Atlanta Falcons this season and the Saints. But, Steven, our guy Dennis Allen makes his debut as head coach of the New Orleans Saints. How do you see this one going?
Well, your guy, Michael Thomas, it looks like he's going to be playing today, which is that just makes the Saints better. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. I think that defense is going to be, or that offense is going to be too much. I like laying the points with the Saints and taking the Saints to win. So yeah.
So the Saints are favored by 5.5.
5.5.
And so you're going to lay the points.
Yeah, I think they're going to win by a touchdown.
And
or 2 field goals, whatever.
And the over-under is 43.5.
43.5. I might take that. I might take that under. I might take the under. Life's too short to bet the under, but I'll take that under.
Taking the under, and you're laying the points.
Yeah, I could see Jameis Winston throwing some picks, and somehow this just turns into one of those games that just has a funky score at the end of it.
I feel you, man. I am going to do the same. I think the Saints are one of the sleeper teams of this NFL season. So I'm going to take them to win. I'm going to lay the points with them. And yes, I think they're going to dominate today. I don't think the Falcons are going to score that much offense. I'm going to go with the under as well. All right, next game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Detroit Lions, the Motor City Kitties. Or I guess that's the Tigers. Either way. The darlings of Hard Knocks. We saw it all summer with Dan Campbell talking about one ass cheek and three toes. And now it's time to actually play games. Eagles upgraded a lot this offseason, getting a ton of guys, but we don't know about Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. Steven, they're favored by 5, the Philadelphia Eagles, that is. The over-under is 48.5. Where are you going with this one?
Wow, they're favored by 5?
They're favored by 5.
Wow, that's so that's what the betting odds are at now, because they started at 3.5. Because I'm in a pick'em league, so I'm kind of going based off that too. They started at 3.5 because I had the Eagles in that one, but man, if we're going with the spread of 5, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think the Lions can cover that. So give me, you know what? Give me the Lions of the points, but I think the Eagles win.
All right. And then where are you going in the over-under?
What's the over-under again? What's the total? 45? 45?
48.
48. Okay, sorry, your mic cut out. Yeah, I'll go with the under there. I'll go with the under again. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring of a game.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to lay the points. I think they dominate today.
Okay.
All right. We got the Cleveland Browns. No Deshaun Watson and no Baker Mayfield. It will be Jacoby Brissett coming in today. And but on the other side, of course, is Baker Mayfield. And he's looking to fuck up the Browns, whether he wants to say so or not. The Cleveland Browns This game was even for a little while, but they are 1.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 42. Steven.
You know what? I will. I'll lay the points with the Panthers, and I'll take the over there.
Ooh.
Christian McCaffrey, you got him now. I don't think we'll see if he can last through the season. But Baker Mayfield, look, man, I think when he's playing with the chip on his shoulder, I think he could instead of a torn labrum, I think he'd be pretty damn good. So yeah, I'll lay the points with the Panthers and take the over.
This is a tough one because I do think the Cleveland Browns are a good football team, but right now with their quarterback situation, I don't know how they're going to play that first game. And Baker Mayfield is looking for revenge. He is looking to be dangerous today. And I'm not a big believer in Baker Mayfield, but just for this one game, I'm not a big believer in the Carolina Panthers, but just for this one game, I am going to take the Panthers. I am going to lay the points, but I'm going to say it's a low-scoring game, and they go under 42 points.
And it is 78 degrees and mostly cloudy. So for this game.
Well, thank you there, Mr. Weatherman. Are you doing weather reports at all for KCBS? Probably not, huh?
No weather reports. Just straight sports, baby.
There you go. Baltimore, with Lamar Jackson declining his contract, go to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets and their former quarterback, Joe Flacco, filling in today. Steven, how do you see this one going? Oh, I should give you also the info. The Ravens are favored by 6.5, and the over-under is 44.5.
Yes, I will. Well, first off, I'll just straight up lay the points with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are absolutely going to dominate. The over-under 44. Yeah, I'll go under. I don't think the Jets are going to be scoring that many points. I'll take the under.
All right, so I am going to take the Ravens to win. I am going to lay the points, but I'm going to go over because I think they are going to dominate. That's pretty much my go-to analysis when someone is going to, go the over.
You think they're just going to score 44 points by themselves?
The Ravens, they could shut about 44-0.
Yeah.
Although you know what, Joe Flacco gets some points on the board, but I think they're going to score some points today.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Colts at the Houston Texans. Matt Ryan makes his debut with the Colts, and Davis Mills, first year as the full-time starter for the Texans. Steven, how do you see this one going? Oh, I keep forgetting.
Spread?
The spread is 7, and the over-under is 44.5. Oh, sorry, 45.5.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to lay the points with the Colts. I think they win by more than a touchdown. I think they do dominate, and kind of like how you feel with the Ravens and Browns. I personally am going to take the over at 45.5.
I'm going to do the same. I think that the Colts are one of the best teams in football. I think that they are going to score some points, especially with Jonathan Taylor, who's on my fantasy team. And look out for Mo Alley-Cox. That is my sleeper guy. Love the name. 3 names. And I think that Matt Ryan's going to find this guy in the red zone. Mo Alley-Cox. All right. Next game. Pittsburgh with Mitch Trubisky going into the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. They re-up their offensive line, and that's all they need to do because if they had an offensive line to protect Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl, they may have won that game. But here we are. So the Bengals are favored by 7, and the over-under is 44.5.
It feels like it'd be a steal just to take and lay the points with the Bengals. But I actually think this is going to be a close one, man. Division games are just different. I think the Steelers are going to be ready. So I'm actually going to take the Steelers to cover, but the Bengals are going to win. And the over-under 44.5. Yeah, I'll take the over on that.
All right. I am going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win. I just don't trust Mitch Trubisky in his debut. I do think that they have a good defense, though, in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do think they're going to win by more than a touchdown, so I'm going to lay the points, but I see this being a very, very low-scoring game, so I'm going to take the under.
All right.
Now we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Washington in the Commanders' debut in their new name, and Carson Wentz's debut as quarterback of the Commanders. Funny enough, the last team that Carson Wentz played against was the Jacksonville Jaguars when he was on the Colts and laid a stinker. And now we'll see how he does against them today with Doug Peterson filling in for Urban Meyer as head coach. I shouldn't say filling in, he's taking his job as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Steven, the Commanders are only favored by 3, and the over-under is 44.
I am taking the Jags outright, and I'm going to go with the
Wow.
under. I am going to go with the under. I'm taking the Jags for the upset. I think they're going to win their first week matchup, even though they're on the road, and they are used to
I like it.
playing in the weather that they're playing in right now. It is currently 74 degrees with rain, and it's very humid. So I'm taking Jacksonville
Alrighty.
and the under.
And the under. I'm going to take Washington to win.
Mhm.
3 points sounds right. So I'm going to lay the points. Excuse me.
Ew.
And 44. I do see this as a close game, but I'm not ready to believe in the Jaguars just yet. I do think both teams are going to score some points. I do think Trevor Lawrence will have a good sophomore season. I'm going to take the over on here. I'm going to take, just lay some points while I write this down and take the over for Washington to win. Well, missing one game in the early slot. Here we go. Patriots at the Dolphins. Your guy, Mike McDaniel, makes his debut as Dolphins head coach. They get a lot of upgrades in the offseason. So many to name, but the big one, obviously, is Tyreek Hill. And then the New England Patriots, with Matt Patricia calling offensive plays. We'll see how this goes. I still think the Patriots are going to be a good football team. But, Steven, I see this one going. The Miami Dolphins are favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 46.
I'll take the Patriots to cover that number. I think they do. I'm not taking them to win, though. I think the Dolphins win in an incredibly close game. And we're talking about, the over under 46.5. I'll take the over on that. I think
Take the over?
Yeah, I think 46.5 is about right.
All right. Okay, so you're gonna take the over. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same. I think that wait, did you took the Patriots to cover?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do the same. I think it's gonna be a close game. I do think despite Matt Patricia calling offensive plays, I do think that the Patriots will score some points today just because I don't know about that Dolphins defense yet. But yeah, I am gonna take the Miami Dolphins to win. I do think it's gonna be a 3-point game, so Patriots cover, and 46. I am gonna take the over there.
So you said that was the only one you missed from the 10 a.m. slate? Yeah, one more.
I know. I'm getting to it, obviously. And then we got rain, torrential downpour right now in Chicago, as Trey Lance will make his debut today as the starter, full-time starter, for the 49ers, with Jimmy Garoppolo sitting on the bench against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. The Niners. Oh, George Kittle sounds like he will not play today, missing with a groin injury.
Right.
They're favored by 6.5, and the over-under is 40. Steven, who you taking?
Ooh, I'm going to take the Niners. I think they win, but in a really weird fashion, and I think I'm going to lay the points with them as well, and I'm going to take the under. I don't think this game goes over 40 points at all. So
I see the exact same thing, my friend.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be like a 20-6 type of game, if that.
Yeah.
It looks like a monsoon right now in Chicago, and you don't see that much for Week 1 games. And this might be very interesting for Trey Lance today. In a rain situation, whew. So we'll
Man's going to be calling for Garoppolo.
Yeah, you probably, but you may be calling for like throwing a pass, because I could see Trey Lance finishing with like 70 yards passing today because of how bad the rain is. They're going to try to run the ball today.
Yeah, agreed.
First game from the late slate, we got the New York Giants going up against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans without A.J. Brown now, but they got Treylon Burks, their new rookie wide receiver, and they got Robert Woods from the Rams. Giants with Brian Dable making his coaching debut. Steven, the Titans are favored by 5.5, and the over/under is 44.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans. I think Daniel Jones is going to be a mess. So lay the points with the Titans. The over/under 44. Take the under there. I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game. Take the under.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to lay the points, but I am going to take the over just because I think the Titans are going to dominate, so that makes the score higher. So like Derrick Henry. But yeah, I'm with you, man. We'll see about Daniel Jones and how long he keeps that job for. Could be a place for Jimmy Garoppolo to watch out. We've heard a lot of rumors about that. All right. Green Bay at Minnesota. This one is interesting. Really interesting. This game initially started with the Packers favored by 1.5. It has shifted. And a lot of people like Minnesota. I think people remember last year when the Packers started their Week 1 game against the New Orleans Saints on the road and laid a dud. We don't know about Aaron Rodgers' blindside today. David Bakhtiari may not play. We don't know who the hell he's throwing to. We obviously know the guys on the team. Alan Lazard may be out today, but we don't know who he's going to trust, who his number one guy is. So I'm going to, just to say who I'm going to go with, Steven. The Minnesota Vikings now are favored by 2, and the over-under is 46.5. I think the Green Bay Packers will end up winning this division, but as far as today, I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings to win. I'm taking the 2 points, and I think it's over 46.5.
Wow. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers to win outright. Aaron Rodgers is going to come out with his newly cut hair on fire. And I do want to take the over as well. I think, obviously, the Vikings are a damn good offense, but in the end, I see the Packers winning this one outright. So give me the Packers and give me the over.
Alrighty then. Then we got the high-scoring. This could be a high-scoring affair here. And the number one game for CBS this week, even though I think they should be doing Chargers and Raiders, but regardless. Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals. Chiefs without Tyreek Hill, and Arizona Cardinals doing their thing with all of the mess of the offseason that was. The Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites. Arizona Cardinals, the over-under is 54. Steven, where do you see this one going?
Oh, boy. I'd say just home dog. You know what? I'm going to take Arizona to cover, but I'm going to have the Chiefs win, and I think it's going to go over. I think it could be a close game, actually.
I do think it's going to be a close game, and I do think a lot of points will be scored. Obviously, I said that before. But I think the Chiefs are going to win. I'm going to... Who? I'm debating this now, actually.
Oh.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to take Arizona to cover. I do think that they're going to win. I do think they're going to make it a close game. Could be an overtime game, too. So if they score in overtime, it would be less than 6.5. So I am taking the Chiefs. I am taking the Arizona Cardinals to cover, but I definitely am going to hit the over there. All right. Raiders, baby. Here we go. Their first game with all this hype, and they're going to their home in L.A. to take on the Chargers. And a lot of expectations with both teams. Khalil Mack, once again, playing against his former team, the Raiders today. God, this one's so juicy. Kevin Harlan on the call today. Are we going to get that here locally in the Bay Area?
We should.
Regardless, I'll have Scott Hanson. By the way, I was looking forward to watching the games at the bar today. Just me and Scott Hanson today. Ugh. All right. Here we go.
What's your problem with him, man? Everyone loves him except you.
Siciliano is so much better. Just forget about the ears. He's just so much better.
What?
Anyway, here we go. Vikings. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 52.5. Steven?
Yeah. I think the Chargers are going to win, but I think it's going to be a close game, so I think the Raiders are going to cover and then take the over.
Oh, man. Steven. All
What?
right.
I think that offensive line is going to get destroyed by Mack and Bosa. Carr's going to look like Stafford out there. He's going to have a couple of moments, but I think Carr's going to be running for his life today.
I kind of agree with you. Despite the fact that I think that the Raiders will win this division today, I think it's this week one feeling things out. You got a new team, you got a new supporting cast. I'm with you. I am going to take the Chargers to win today. I am going to lay the points, though, because I do think they're going to win by more than 3, and I am going to take the over. I still think the Raiders are going to score some points today, but it's just going to be tough. Even though they're home, basically, they're going to have their home fans screaming for them, but Chargers, continuity-wise, with the coach from last season, I like the Chargers to win today, so I'm going to take the over as well, if I didn't say that before.
Yeah.
Sunday night game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. Buccaneers lost some offensive linemen. They added Julio Jones. And then on the Cowboys, they lost a ton of guys. Amari Cooper's gone. Cedric Wilson is gone. They're going to be with Tyron Smith for most of the season. Steven, where do you see this one going? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 50.5.
Yeah, home dogs would normally be the play here, but I think the Buccaneers at least win by a field goal, so I'm going to be taking the Bucs in this one. And when it comes to the over-under, 50.5, Yeah, I'm going to take the over as of right now.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys can score some points, maybe in garbage time or something, but I could see the Buccaneers just totally destroying them in Dallas.
So, and we're gonna lay the points with the Buccaneers or no?
Yeah, lay the points with them. I think
All
you
right.
destroy them.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay the points as well, but I am gonna take the under. I think this is gonna be a low-scoring game, actually. And finally, the Monday night game. Russell Wilson returns to his home in Seattle, where they're going to be wearing those booger green jerseys. Gross. And yeah, this is going to be weird. This is going to be very weird for Russell Wilson's first game, where he didn't want to be with the Seahawks, to go back to Seattle and play against Pete Carroll. But Broncos are that much better of a team. And Geno Smith, not a big fan, but he did play well at times, filling in for Russell Wilson. The Broncos are favored by 6.5, and the over-under is 44.5. I'm going to take the Broncos. I'm going to lay the points, and I'm definitely going to take the over because I think they're going to kick their ass.
Yeah, me too. Do the exact same thing with me. For me, I think Russell Wilson's going to go off.
All right, my friend. So we have a little bit different here or there, but we'll see how that accumulates when we next meet during the week. And considering that I have to stay home for the time being, we'll have a show to do. Probably. What are you feeling? Tuesday? Whatever you like. We still got to figure out your schedule and everything.
Yeah, we'll give you more updates on Twitter and everything because I have no idea what my schedule is going to look like for the next week or so.
Well, there you go, man. And yeah, so there you have it.
Back, baby.
Football is back. We're ready to roll. Before we end the show today, let me just say to my co-host here, Steven, you did an amazing job at 95.7 The Game over these past few years. You are very talented, going from what you were as a board op to being an update guy to handling your business on the pregame show to filling in with Bonte and Shasky on morning drive time radio. I have a lot of respect for you, my friend, and you're going to kill it come tomorrow on KCBS.
Oh, thanks, buddy. So I'm not going to be on the air just yet. Still going to get acclimated to the company and, going to go. I think I'm going to actually.
What are they doing? Come on.
I'm going to go tour the newsroom tomorrow, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
Because anytime I've walked up there, everyone's so busy. It's like I don't want to just, hop in and be like, hey, I'm Steven, and it's like it's a very professional workplace up there. So I'm excited for it. But yeah, more details to come on when those reports will be coming along.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us for this first edition of Just Your Pregame Show, man. We're going to keep doing this every week, and we hope you will join us as well. As always, Steven, say what you always say, my friend.
And it's just our opinion, man. Let's go sports. Let's go football. I can't wait for football.